This is episode 4, and we'll be looking at variable declaration and assignment. So in the previous tutorial, we did look at declaration. Let me just fix that real quick. All right, there we go. All right, so in the previous example, previous episode, we did look at how you can go about getting console input. Right, and we did see that you actually need to have declared a variable in order for you to make use of the ability to store values in your program. So variables are nothing but temporary memory, or rather named memory locations which are going to store values, is it? So in order to make to declare a variable in Visual Basic, you actually make use of the dim keyword, which is short for dimension. Then you're followed by the data type, the identifier for your variable, is it? So in the previous example, we used something like name, then as string, right? So this is one way of actually going about it. Actually, this right here is just a declaration, and then later on in the program, you realize that we made use of the console.readLine function to read input from the keyboard and store it inside of the variable code name. So this particular example, on line number 6, we call this the declaration. Then on line number 7, we call this the assignment. So maybe let's actually assign a name there. So you realize that this on line number 7, that's an assignment statement going on. Then on line number 6, that's declaration. So that's the first variable type that you can declare in Visual Basic. Then you can also declare something called a character. So the way you can declare a character is to declare a variable. Let's declare a variable called symbol as a char, right? So what I can actually do in this particular instance is to combine variable declaration with variable assignment. So in other words, you can actually declare and assign in the same line if you already know the variable that you want to store in that particular instance, specifically if it's not going to come from the user. So the way we can go about this is to make use of the equal sign, which is the assignment operator in Visual Basic. Then you're going to assign, maybe let's assign the dollar sign, right? So it's the character data type is actually going to store a single character or a single symbol, if I should say. Then other data types that we can declare, we can actually declare boolean. So let's actually go ahead and declare boolean. Maybe let's call this one status. Then we can declare it as a boolean. Then we can set it to, maybe let's set it to false is the default value. Then we can also declare price. So this could be the price of an item. Maybe you just use the annotation as for consistency, the proper noun notation for consistency. So the data type for storing numbers like the price of an item. Remember, price is typically going to be composed of dollars and cents, is it? So maybe let's say an item is costing $5.99, right? You can just declare that as a decimal. Then I'm thinking, let me just confirm. I'm thinking we can actually declare it as a float as well. Let me just confirm real quick. Let's say we have let's say it's area. We have float. No, we don't have float in VB. What about double? I think we do have double. So maybe let's say it's 63.56 for some reason. Yes, so these two data types, this is how you can actually store real numbers. You can declare it as a decimal or you can declare it as a double. So the main difference, so this is a decimal floating point number. Then this one is double precision. So basically the difference between the two is that double is actually going to take twice as much memory for storing your floating point number. So let's say maybe the decimal is using 16 bits to store the number. Dub would actually make use of 32 bits to store the same number. Then we can also declare an integer. So we can go dim. Maybe a person's age will be prime territory for declaring an integer. So we can say integer, then you can maybe set that to 5. Any other data types? We've looked at char, we've looked at boolean, we've looked at real. Yeah, so I think that's just about it for variable declarations. These are the main ones that we'll be using throughout the series. So yeah, I think that's just about it for this episode. I'll see you in the next one.